Hello, and welcome to our channel dedicated to African stories. Take 2 seconds to subscribe, like, and tell us in comments from which country you're watching this video. Good. Let's get started. In Libreville's bustling market, there was a legendary butcher named Glenn. His meat was reputed to be the best in the city, and customers flocked to buy it every day. Glenn was always smiling, courteous, and incredibly popular with the locals. Among his many loyal customers was a young woman named Sonia. Fascinated by the quality of Glenn's meat, she began to develop feelings for him. Determined to unravel the mystery of his success and confess her love for him, Sonia set out to get closer to Glenn. One day, after complimenting Glenn on his meat, Sonia shyly asked him how he managed to obtain such quality. Glenn, touched by her interest and admiration, offered to accompany her to his native village, 2 days' drive from Libreville, deep in the forest, where he obtained his meat. The journey was long and exhausting, but Sonia was excited to discover Glenn's secret. They crossed magnificent landscapes, sparkling rivers, and dense forests, before arriving in a remote village shrouded in mystery. When they arrived, Glenn made one condition. Sonia was not to enter his room under any circumstances. He set up a bed for her in the living room for the night. Sonia, though curious, respected his request, but a strange anguish began to take hold of her. That first night in the village, Sonia was unable to sleep. The surrounding forest was eerily silent, except for the occasional sound of nocturnal creatures. An unhealthy curiosity drove her to discover what Glenn was hiding. Through the holes in the bedroom door, she watched Glenn slowly transform into an evil spirit. The sight of this transformation was so terrifying that she lost consciousness. When Sonia awoke, she found herself tied to a chair. Glenn, with a chilling smile, explained that she had violated his condition and that he had no choice but to kill her and sell her flesh. Panic gripped her, her eyes desperately searching for a way out. The room was dark, lit only by the flickering glow of a candle. Glenn was meticulously preparing his butcher's instruments, his silhouette casting ominous shadows on the walls. With a desperate effort, Sonia broke free and fled into the dark night. She ran with all her might through the forest, branches and thorns tearing at her skin. Her bloody feet carried her further and further, each beat of her heart resounding like a drum in her chest. At last, she reached a village, her exhausted body collapsing in front of the inhabitants. There, she told her story to the villagers, but no one believed her. Her words seemed too incredible to be true. Nevertheless, she managed to convince a few hunters to accompany her to verify her story. The hunters, armed and cautious, followed her to the spot where she had seen Glenn's house. But when they arrived, they found nothing. The house had vanished as if by magic, leaving only an empty, silent clearing. The hunters returned to the village, thinking she had lost her mind. Sonia returned to Libreville, determined to warn everyone of the danger. But no one believed her, and the pressure of her experiments finally drove her mad. She was committed to an asylum, her screams and scary stories echoing through the corridors. Her tormented mind relived again, and again the horrors she had seen, her nights haunted by the image of Glenn. As for Glenn, he continued to sell his meat in another Libreville market, his business still thriving. His customers, unaware of the true nature of his merchandise, praised the quality of his meat again and again. Glenn always smiled from behind his counter, his eyes hiding the dark secrets of his success. He was no longer just a butcher, but a master of illusion, perpetuating the sinister cycle of his crimes. Rumors of Sonia's madness spread, but no one made the connection with Glenn. Her story became an urban legend, told to frighten children but forgotten by adults. And so, the butcher of Libreville continued to thrive, his macabre trade hidden behind the mask of normalcy. Take 2 seconds to subscribe, like, and tell us in comments from which country you're watching this video. Good.